Alright, I just got the notification that the Amazing Digital Circus episode's 8 trailer just came out, so I immediately sat down and I'm gonna react to it. Now, last time, I didn't make a reaction to episode 7 because I tried to record it and my audio just completely messed up, so I couldn't post it, but I'm gonna try to make a video reacting to episode 8, and I feel like I have a lot of thoughts. First things first, if you see these little guys right here, they're, Jax and Gangle Shimijis that I made. I guess I can, put the link, in the description on where you can download them, just from my itch page. They're free, and he's gonna be running around, and Gangle's gonna be climbing that ceiling. So I just thought I'd put them there for, just for fun. Okay, let's get on into the trailer. Now, first things first, the first thing I noticed is this is the Truman Show. It's the sky staircase. So, I don't know what that means for this, but I'm gonna like it. Okay. I'm nervous. But you know what? Just making sure everything's fine. Let's just hit play. So it looks like a silent old film. The Love Without a Heart. That's very obviously Caine, or it might be the lover without a heart. The lover had always wanted friends, but he didn't know how to get anyone to love him back. Yeah, that's Caine. I'm trying to see, I don't see any references in the, boarding of this, so. The harder he tried to impress the people with his magic, the more he would drive them away. I'm trying to see, I recognize the song a little bit. It kind of reminds me of the Abstraction song from episode 7, but I might be wrong. This is the story of a little AI who ruined everything. Ooh, okay. We're getting into it now. Yeah, he really did ruin everything. Okay. That reminds me of, doesn't it look like a photograph getting burned? Oh, that's so much fun. That's so much fun. Oh, Gangle! Gangle's there. I see her. Oh, that's interesting. The wall disappeared, which... Oh, that's also interesting. Wait, let's... The wall disappeared, which makes me think, the therapy session. I'm sorry, I just noticed Jack sitting all alone on the purple couch in the corner. Okay, I'll get back to this. But the wall disappearing reminds me of the therapy session where, Caine was glitching out, and see how they're all looking up? They're probably looking up at Caine, who's, definitely seems like he's trying to apologize, but probably not doing it well. Also, something interesting, I know that people were talking a lot about, colors and what they represent in the Amazing Digital Circus. It's interesting that Pomni, Kinger, and Ragatha are sitting on the red couch, and Jax is over on his lonesome, of course, sitting on the purple couch, which is a combination of red and blue, and no one's sitting on the blue couch. I don't know, it's just something a little interesting. I don't think, obviously, episode 7, red is staying, blue is leaving, so this could represent something like since they know that they can never leave now, that's why they're all in this corner. And also, it is the blue wall that's disappearing. I don't know, could mean something. Could mean something. And then this shot, of course, is him in his office, so maybe this confirms that, some of the adventure was right a little bit in the fact that this is his office. I don't think that episode 7 adventure, actually meant anything. I think it was just an adventure made by Caine. I know some people think that, oh, maybe he just said it was an adventure. I don't think that. But, he at the very least did let them in his actual office. And look, there's Bubble. Okay. Again with, again with the colors of red, blue, and green. But that's probably just because... I guess green's not a primary color, it's a complementary one. So interesting choice. I don't know. The wires, again, remind me of episode 5, where they had to cut the wires, and a lot of people also point out that scene in, whenever they talk about Color in the Amazing Digital Circus. Also, ooh, look at this. I love Caine animation so much. Alright, he's gonna say something, so let's listen to him. Yeah, dude, I'm sure they don't. Uh-oh. Ooh. This is so bad. Yeah. Okay. I should just watch this all. Oh, again with the couches. I'm doing something. I'm doing something. Should I just watch this all before overanalyzing it? Sure. Okay, I'll let it run through. Ooh, okay. Uh-oh. Again with red and blue. Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back, actually. I lied. Alright. Okay. So, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Going in frame by frame. I don't know. Again, all the lights popping out, which I didn't even realize there were lights on, like, this slide thing, is probably Caine glitching out. Huh. There's a bunch of graphs everywhere. I'm trying to see if I can see anything in... This is like a window. A hand. Oh, yeah. Huh, okay. That is actually interesting, because I think that this hand showed up in Caine's office, and I'm pretty sure... I might be wrong about this, so maybe don't listen to me, but I'm pretty sure that this hand, a lot of people were comparing it to... It was, like, one of the most, like, detailed 3D models, like, first ever made, was based off of, like, someone's hand, like, actual hand, and they said that it looked like it. Also, the key that they get is shaped like a hand, so it does kind of look like that hand that's on a shelf. That could be a reference to that. This is fun. So we know what this is because... Now, does this mean that we're going to be getting a flashback, or is this a sick, cruel, like, a twist where maybe they're just going to get this in the present, and it's going to remind Jax of, his dead friends. But this could be a flashback. That would be really cool, because this is, the hot chocolate that we see in the photo with Kaufmo and Ribbit, which is very interesting. Alright, this looks like, there's, like, a portal for an adventure that maybe they're all falling out of. Is this fun? I like how this is animated. Look at Ragatha. Oh, I love her. Yeah, and they're bracing for impact of the ground. It's fun. Oh, I like that head turn. And uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't know if, you guys have seen the song, the Caine song made by Bunny Cat, which you totally should. This reminds me of the very, last part of it, where they're all running in fear, and that does not bode well. Yeah, ooh. So, they're, again, all looking up, and I assume that they're all probably looking up at Caine. And another portal adventure. Sorry, I had to leave for a second to give my cats food, but now I'm back. I think I was just looking through the frames. Alright, so I noticed that we looked down at Ragatha's hands, and then we looked down at Jax's hand. And, I'm trying to figure out where they are right now, because that's like realistic wood texture. I don't remember seeing anything like this in the circus, but it easily could be, or it could be an adventure. And also, this reminds me of, in episode 6, when Jax, like, shoves Pomni away, and then he looks down at his hand that shoved her away. I don't know. Whoa. I don't need to be doing all that. And again, this is him on the purple couch that we saw before. Blue wall. I don't know how much that means anything. We see even Kinger's worried about this, so that's no good. Yeah. I might be... Alright. I might be, just, like, grasping at straws here, but one of his eyes is green, and it is turning green right now. Not that... I mean, I don't know. I feel like we could go on all day talking about what colors in the Amazing Digital Circus mean. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. Seems like we're gonna have a Kinger and Caine talk, which is fun. Also, something that I noticed right now is that we're not seeing any of the carnival, which I know a lot of people's predictions was that they were gonna go to the carnival. And I think that's just because people wanted them to go to the carnival that's outside on the grounds. So far, we're not seeing it. So, I'm sorry to those people. I'm trying to figure out... It does... No. It's just stationary. Because I was kind of thinking it does kind of look like Zubal's walking away from Jax. Which would make a little bit of sense, because in episode 7 they did, like, at least try to reach out to him. I don't know if they would do that now that I'm thinking about it after episode 7, which I think I said episode 6. I meant 7. That's fine. Cue joke here. Again, very interesting about the couches. This is in the office. We saw the scene earlier before of Bubble and Caine in here. And he's popping all of Bubble. So I see a lot of theories that Bubble is like, sort of, like, thoughts that Caine doesn't want to, like, say aloud, which is why sometimes Bubble will be like, oh, they don't like, you know, they hate you, or, like, say, like, weird and wild things, and that's why he gets so mad at them. So I could see a situation here where Bubble is, like, meant to represent a bunch of, his, like, thoughts that he doesn't want to think about right now, which is why he's popping all of them. Concerned Kinger again with... Is that... Wait a minute. Oh, guys, guys. Do you guys think we're gonna get a flashback? You think that's what's gonna happen right now? Because I recognize that. So that's obviously Queenie, right? Is this a flashback, or is this, like, with, like, the ribbit hallucination? Is it something like that? Or is it, like, a... What? Because we see this, and we also see the hot cocoa drink. But also, no one knows about Kinger's wife except for Pomni, because they're all like, what are you talking about, in episode 5. Which means that it would have to be multiple different flashbacks if we were getting a flashback episode, instead of just one, because Queenie wouldn't have been there during Ribbit and Kaufmo and Jack's time. Yeah. Again with the red and blue. I do like how... I think that's 2D animation for the lightning, which I love, love, love special effects that are 2D animated in 3D environments. Hee hee hee. Yeah. Oh, that looks nice. Look at that. Wow. So obviously, I feel like what we can pick up here is that Caine's gonna start this out being like, oh, he's gonna probably try to do another adventure. Again, he's doing the zipping mouth again. She has no mouth. And this has to be the same scene because they're sitting on the red couch. Oh. Huh. Oh, that's a full-on car. Oh, that is a full-on car. I'll get back to this. These guys are so cute. I love these guys. One of them looks like a bee. Doesn't that guy kind of look like a bee? They kind of remind me of the Gloinks. I like how... I love the texture on the grass. Just being like a straight-up grass image. Something that's interesting about this is this looks like an old photograph, and it has CNA logo. Twice. We can see it through this door, and we can see it right here. So, I believe the only photographs that Caine shows us in the show don't have the CNA logo in them. It's only during the scene where Pomni's running through the hallway and, like, in the circus, in, like, stuff that Caine makes that has the CNA logo, which, you know, makes you wonder, oh, does CNA actually exist, or is that something that Caine made up too? And if this is an actual photo of the office, which I don't know, and who knows for sure, but if it is, then that could confirm that CNA actually does exist. I can't tell because, like, I know in episode 7 they used real life footage for the Jax, like, thing. And I'm like, this does look realistic. It's more realistic than anything in the show. But it is also 3D animated, so I'm like, I'm wondering, because it does look like when Pomni's running through the office. Which I'm wondering now, I'm like, are we gonna go back there? But no one's in here. I like the vending machine. He's looking at something. And then Bubble. Okay, so I think that this scene probably comes first. And then it's the scene of him and Bubble sitting there. And then Bubble probably says something. And maybe he tries to, like, pop Bubble. And then, you know, he multiplies. And then is like, oh, they hate you. And then he goes into popping them all. And maybe, I feel like that's probably at, like, the start of it, where he's like, they don't hate me, I'm gonna make a new adventure, and they're all gonna love it. And then he goes into the couch scene, where they're all sitting on a couch, obviously not having a good time, and he's like, oh, let's do another adventure, and then they're like, dude, clearly we don't want to do that, and then maybe that's when the glitching out scene happens, and they all get worried. Where is she? I'm, like, trying to look in the background and see where they are, because I can't tell. It could be somewhere in the circus. I'm surprised he's in the void.
Let's get this show on the road!
March 20th, and was it glitching out in red and blue? And a little bit of pink/purple. Look at that. That's... Look at that. So what I feel like is that, like I said before, we get the shot of this one, where him and Bubble are in a room. Bubble probably says something, and he's like, I don't like that. So then he tries to pop them, and it goes into the shot of him popping all of the bubbles. I don't remember where that is right now. And I'll get back to the car. I said I would. I'll get back to it. Yeah, the scene where he's... Yeah, it's one of the scenes where he's popping all of the bubbles. And then he probably goes to the couches, is like, let's do an adventure. They don't want to. But then there's the scene of him opening up the portal while they're all, like, looking at him in kind of horror. So, like, maybe he was glitching out, and they were all, like, a little concerned about it, because, you know, he is concerning. That's probably why Ragatha, Pomni, and Gangle are all on the ground, and they look so worried. And then he's like, do the adventure anyways. And then we do see them falling out of the portal, which makes me wonder if we are gonna get an adventure this time, or if it's just gonna be like... And I am wondering about the hot cocoa and the Queenie thing now, because I'm like, maybe that shows up in the adventure, or they go into the office for the adventure. But I don't know why Caine would want to do that, would want to, like, throw him into the real world, or in his version of the real world. And the car. It's also a red car. Could be a truck. It does look... Okay, it does look strange. Because, like... Okay, you know, it looks more like a truck. Doesn't it? Because maybe that's, like, the front window, and then those are, like, the side windows? Or that's probably... Okay, I see. Never mind. It could be a car. I think there's so much motion blur. I think this is the hood, that's the front window, those are the side windows. So it is a car, probably. Do I have to mention the theory that Jax ran over a child? I don't believe that theory at all. But I do agree with the fact that they do mention cars a lot. And Gangle does get run over by a truck in episode 4. And then there's also the possibility that just maybe this is a joke. And they were like, let's put this in the trailer so people will talk about it. Which would be pretty funny. But it also could mean something. Huh. And it's in the circus, too. I feel like I want to go back. Oh, and also, clearly, Caine and Kinger are gonna have a conversation because he's, like, blooping them out of existence. And also, we get the shot of just them. Huh. A car. I do want to see... And also the Truman Show type thumbnail, I feel like. I did just want to go into episode 4 really, really quickly and see what color the truck was that hit Gangle. Yeah, this one. It's red, but it doesn't look the same. But it is red. Does this mean anything? No, I don't think... That's not the same truck. And I don't know what this is up here, because that looks like another window. I guess that could be the back window. Yeah, it is bent in a weird way, so that's probably the back window, which does make me feel like it's a car and not a truck. I don't even know what this means. It's so cute. I'm gonna try... Let's just watch it one more time. See if I catch anything.
Surely they don't want to actually leave me, right? I can solve any problem.
Oh!
That's what this is.
You know what? Now I am thinking, maybe this is like a... If you watch the Owl House, you may know, like, the Hootie episode that's, like, the best one. Where Hootie's, like, trying to solve all their problems and it all works out in the end. Maybe this is an episode like that where he's like, I'm going to try to solve every single one of your guys' problems because of what he's saying right now. He's saying, I can solve anything, which is like well, why would you want to leave the circus when I can literally do anything here? Which is maybe why we get the hot cocoa and the Queenie situation. Maybe instead of it being a flashback, it's going to be like Caine is trying to solve their issues, but he doesn't really know how to do that in a good way, so he's like, yeah, I'll just bring Queenie back, but maybe she's like an NPC, actually. And obviously that's not what you want, but to Caine, he doesn't understand the difference. Well, you just wanted her back, so here she is. So maybe it's something like that. Is what I'm thinking right now.
A big puzzle that I need to solve.
Yeah. Because it does end with him saying, it's a big puzzle I need to solve, and then the Queenie shows up, so I'm like, no, I'm thinking about that. Huh. It does look like that they look like photos. Especially how they're flashing by makes them look even more like photos. Like the subtle zoom, especially. So if those are the photos that Caine has of the real world, that means CNA does exist. Which I guess would make sense. Like, yeah, that would make sense. I mean, CNA could also exist without them putting people into pods and doing whatever else that Abel was saying. And CNA could exist even without Abel existing as, like, an actual person named Abel, which I feel like I don't believe that there is an actual person named Abel. Because even if episode 6 was somehow... Episode 7. Even if episode 7 was somehow alright, like, his name still wasn't Abel. That was just a name he chose. And I don't believe that Kinger's name is Abel, or that he knows anyone named Abel, because when they talk about him, King is in darkness and he's like, who? So that makes me kind of think that Abel does not exist as a person. But if it does, like, if CNA does exist as a company, that is interesting. And I guess it would make sense that Caine would take being like, oh, the only thing I know about the real world is there's a company named CNA. So obviously if I make an adventure, let's go to the real world, I'm going to use the company CNA because that's the only thing I really know about it.
Let's get this show on the road.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's my working theory for right now, is that this episode is going to be Caine trying to fix everyone's problems and being bad at it. I don't think I have anything else to say. Bye-bye. Actually, I'm a liar. I do have something else to say. And that is the weird fourth wall breaks and the Truman Show thumbnail. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I don't know if it will lead to anything, but it's weird that Jax breaks the fourth wall, right? Like, it could just be a joke. Like, I'm of the two minds of it's either, like, a joke or he's trying to, you know, like, that's just him going into a cartoon character. Like, him being like, oh, they do this in Looney Tunes, so I guess I'm gonna do this. But, like, it's still kind of weird that he always knows where the camera is. And I was kind of thinking that maybe that happens because if he, like, believes it enough, the camera will be in front of him. Like, kind of how you can manifest things from what episode 6 was saying. But even then, I'm still, like, wondering, what if it is all a show? Like, there are people watching. But in my head, I can't find a way for that to fit in well enough to make sense. It's just something that I've been thinking about a lot, that it's weird that Jax can break the fourth wall. And then now we're getting a thumbnail with The Truman Show, which is a movie about someone who was stuck in a show. And that obviously, it has to mean something, now that they're, like, pointing it out. But there is nothing in the trailer that makes me think about it. And even then, I feel like the show is more about the characters and what they're going through, that it would feel a little weird if they randomly were like, oh yeah, also the whole thing's a show and it's about that now. I mean, I'm sure that if they did, they could do it in a way that feels satisfying. I just, in my head, can't think of that way that they would do it.